In the year 1206, a man stood on the steppe of Central Asia, and an empire began to form around him. He commanded perhaps 100,000 horsemen. The world he was about to conquer held 300 million people. Within his lifetime, he would burn the capitals of China to the ground. Within his descendants' lifetimes, the empire he founded would stretch from the Pacific Ocean to the gates of Vienna. 9 million square miles of contiguous land. The largest empire the world has ever seen. The largest it ever will. This is the story of Genghis Khan and the empire that rode out of nothing. He was born in 1162. His birth name was Temujin. He was born into a clan with no power, no wealth, and no future. His mother had been kidnapped and forced into marriage. His father was a minor chieftain. According to legend, the boy came into the world clutching a blood clot in his right hand, a sign the Mongols believed of a destined ruler. When Temujin was 9 years old, his father was poisoned by a rival clan. His own people then abandoned his mother, his 6 siblings, and him on the open steppe, refusing to feed them through the winter. He should have died. Instead, over the next 20 years, Temujin did something no Mongol had ever done. He united the tribes. He forged blood brotherhoods with his rivals. He outlasted his enemies and absorbed their warriors into his own command. He promoted men not by birth, but by merit. A shepherd's son could rise to lead 10,000 warriors. By the year 1206, every nomadic tribe of the Mongolian steppe answered to a single man. A council of chieftains gathered on the banks of the Onon River and declared him Genghis Khan. The title meant universal ruler. He was 44 years old. The world had no idea he existed. The army Genghis built was unlike anything the medieval world had seen. While in Europe, knights still fought as individual aristocrats. While in China, infantry armies of 500,000 stumbled across the countryside. Genghis Khan built something else entirely. His army was organized on a decimal system. 10 men formed an arban. 10 arbans formed a unit of 100. 10 of those formed a mingan of 1,000. 10 mingans formed a tumen. 10,000 horsemen who could be moved across a continent on a single command. Every Mongol soldier was first a horseman. He learned to ride before he learned to walk. He could shoot a bow at full gallop before he was 10. In 1209, the Mongols rode south. Their first target was the Tangut kingdom of Xi Xia. The Mongols had never besieged a walled city in their lives. So they learned. They captured engineers. They built siege weapons. They diverted a river to flood the capital. Within 2 years, Xi Xia surrendered. Then, in 1211, Genghis turned his army against the Jin Dynasty, the empire that controlled northern China. The Jin had walls. The Jin had fortresses. The Jin had the Great Wall itself. The Mongols had speed, terror, and the willingness to do what no other army of their era would do. In 1215, they took the capital city of Zhongdu, modern Beijing, and burned it for an entire month. But the campaign that would define the Mongol Empire began in 1219, not with a war, but with a diplomatic mistake. The Khwarezmian Empire stretched across Persia, Afghanistan, and Central Asia. Its cities, Bukhara, Samarkand, Urgench, were among the wealthiest in the medieval world. Genghis Khan did not want war. He sent a trade caravan of 450 merchants to open commerce with the Shah. The governor of the border city of Otrar accused the merchants of being spies. He executed every single one of them. Genghis sent 3 diplomats to demand justice. The Shah killed the first. He sent the other 2 back to Mongolia with their beards cut off and burned. It was the worst decision in Khwarezmian history. Genghis Khan climbed a mountain. According to the historian Juvini, he prayed for 3 days and 3 nights. When he came down, he had only one word for his generals: ride. The Mongols crossed a desert the Khwarezmians believed impassable. In February of 1220, they appeared outside the walls of Bukhara. The city fell in 3 days. Genghis Khan rode his horse into the great mosque. He opened the Quran and let the pages scatter on the floor. He told the survivors, "I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you." Samarkand fell within weeks. Urgent was destroyed by diverting a river through it. Genghis Khan died in August of 1227. He was 65 years old. His final wishes were unusual. He asked to be buried in secret. The soldiers who escorted his body to its hidden grave killed every traveler they met along the route so that no one would ever know the location. When the burial was complete, those same soldiers were killed in turn. Then 1,000 horses were ridden over the grave to erase any trace of it. To this day, 800 years later, no one knows where Genghis Khan is buried. But the empire he built did not stop with his death. Under his sons and grandsons, the Mongols destroyed the kingdom of Georgia. They conquered Korea. They finished off the Jin Dynasty. They rode into Eastern Europe, annihilating the armies of Poland and Hungary in a single week. They were 2 weeks' ride from Vienna when the great Khan Ugadai died, and the generals turned back to elect a new ruler. Europe never knew how close it came. In 1258, his grandson Hulagu sacked Baghdad, ending the Abbasid Caliphate and drowning its libraries in the Tigris until the river ran black with ink. At its peak, the Mongol Empire covered 9 million square miles. It contained 1/4 of every human being alive on Earth. It is the largest contiguous empire that has ever existed. The Mongol Empire fell apart within 150 years of Genghis Khan's death, but it left something behind that no other empire has matched. In 2003, a team of geneticists studying Y chromosome lineages found something extraordinary. A single male lineage appeared in roughly 1 in every 12 men across the former Mongol Empire, a pattern statistically impossible to explain by chance. It traced back to one man who lived 800 years ago. Today, an estimated 16 million men alive on Earth are direct paternal descendants of Genghis Khan. He built an empire that fell within a century, but he built a bloodline that has outlasted every empire that came after him. Next time on The Old Fires, the city that stopped the Mongols.